with your problems. But if you come over, we can solve them. I see how you move and you got options. You don't like them, baby, you can drop them. Now you saying, baby,
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Emotional Blossom podcast. Listen, if you don't know, this you about to find out right now. The Emotional Blossom podcast is where we bring people on this podcast who I believe are always striving for success, no matter how they feel. No matter if it's sad, happy, depressed, no matter what's going on in their life, they just have one thing on their mind, and that's to be successful. Okay? And today, my name is J Drip, right? But today I had somebody very special with me. The one, the only, the motherfucking T Mizzle. Talk to me, bro.
What's up, bro? How you doing today, man? For y'all don't know, my name is Terrence, man. Born and raised Lancaster, PA. For me, I'm out here. I'm excited. First guest, it's an honor to be on the genre. It's an honor to sit down with my man to talk all about, emotions and mental health and everything that's important to me and should be important to everybody else.
And honestly, bro, like, for everybody who's watching, everybody who's listening, this is for y'all, bro. Like, we go through certain emotions, we go through certain things, we overcome that, and we share that so you guys can use it and use that to your guys' benefit, Like, it's going to be beneficial for them if they use it in the right way.
Let's say 100%.
Let's say you and somebody really relate with each other through this.
100%.
We want y'all to be interactive with me. Terrence, hopefully we have him back on another podcast. Make sure you follow him on all his socials.
Yeah.
And make sure that you follow him on all his socials, but also you listen to his podcast, man. You watch his podcast. It's fine. Go ahead, bro. Tell me a little bit about that. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me a little bit about what you do before we get into the more intimate and sensitive topics.
Got you. So, like I said, I was born and raised Lancaster, PA. I lived here all my life, for real. I got a podcast right now out, Beyond the Surface podcast. If you go on my Instagram page, ATF_TMAC, TMAC, you're going to see us in about, it's going to say surface level podcast. So click on the page, the YouTube links in there, basically surrounding, male mental health and mental health in general, just trying to get people on there, tell their story, talk about some of the struggles that they go through, some of the hidden battles and everything. And, that's a topic near and dear to my heart. So I really like to share that moment with everybody and share the platform for people to get on there and talk and figure themselves out. And I work at benchmark programs. So I work with at-risk youth. My man Jamie know about that, but I work with at-risk youth with gun charges. So I like to help them get back on the right path and help to see them succeed and strive for greatness and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I love what you do. You're always about the community, always about the wellness of the future that we have here in Lancaster City, or honestly, wherever you go, y'all know you're going to make a good impact, honestly. So, but I want to talk about today's episode, right? Silence. It can be beneficial. It could be something that you choose to do. It's something that you do for survival. You do something that you do for your own comfortability.
Yeah.
So when is silence beneficial and when is silence not beneficial?
So for me, I would speak from like a personal standpoint. I think I'm dealing with that right now. So I'm dealing with the divide of, obviously learning when to speak up and learning when not to. Because as a man, as a male growing up in a predominantly, speaking about emotions is very niche. People aren't supposed to talk about it. So I think for me, it's like trying to figure that out, trying to figure the balance out. I think for me, silence is useful, obviously, when I'm talking about like my projects. So when I got something I want to work on, I try to keep it to myself, just, out of respect for my projects. And I treat them like my children, like my babies. I try to nurture them. I try to make sure before I present it to the world that it's clean and cut. I'm trying to learn how to not be silent on things like emotions, like my mental health, when I'm struggling, when I'm not struggling, when I'm succeeding. Even, I'm really humble, so I don't really like bragging about when I succeed, but I'm starting to learn to, take pride in that, take pride in my success stories and take pride in the battles I've overcame.
Yeah. Nah, so you mentioned something there. You mentioned success, right? And being humble. Okay. So let's talk about that a little bit more. Being humble and being cocky, there's a big difference.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? So when we talk about these different situations, and we're talking about being quiet and knowing when to be humble, knowing when to talk your stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And be out there and represent yourself. Like with your emotions, you want to be, there's sometimes you got to be open and talk about certain situations. And there's other times that you don't really have to talk about those situations. Let's say like you get into an argument, you let your emotions take over, you get into a fight, you go to your trunk, you pull out a Glock. You handle business because that's what your emotions tell you to do.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Right. Sometimes you got to bite your tongue. Right. Yeah. And sometimes that's not very easy to do in a macho type of world. So let's talk about, I don't want to talk about that macho situation because that's like a whole different episode. I want to stick to the silence, right? For now. So when we talk about emotions, right? We talk about being open. What emotions do we want to be open with?
For me, I'm trying to be open with the negative emotions. I say so. I'm trying to be more vulnerable when it comes to like if I'm feeling sad, I'm like depressed, or if I'm really going through it. I'm trying to be more vulnerable in that aspect because I feel like that's a part of me that people don't see. You know, obviously you've been around me, bro, since we was in 6th grade. So, you mean you could probably count on 2 hands how many times you see me like have a bad day. I've had plenty of bad days, but I try to keep it to myself and bottle it up. But I'm really trying, you know, step into that next level of myself and learn how to be vulnerable and learn how to, you know, certain people thrive off of that and certain people need that to strengthen a relationship with me. You know, my mom, you know, people I care about, people that I'm cool with. You know, sometimes you need to let that side of you show. And sometimes I'm learning that right now. I'm learning how to, you know, get into that sense of where it's like, all right, it's okay to tell someone like, yo, bro, today not the day. I'm having a bad day. Like, it's okay to say that. And I'm learning how to be okay with that right now.
Yo, you talking about like, yo, bro, like today I'm having a bad day. It like reminds me of like my teachers in high school, in college, not even in college. I'm tripping. In elementary school, bro. Yeah. Like telling me like, how's your day today? And I used to be like honest with them, bro. I'm having a horrible day, bro. Yeah. I'm just not feeling it. And sometimes it gave me an excuse to like act up. You know, like thinking about it back now, you know, it probably gave me an excuse to act up. But like, honestly, bro, like, nah. Right. But you talked about basically the breaking down, right? I've seen you multiple times and I still have the same respect for you. Like, I know the stuff that you've been through, you know, the stuff that I've been through, like all that, like it's crazy, right? But let's talk about sometimes that you have to be kind of closed off, right? And let's talk about those emotions. Let me give you some examples. Like, let's say you cry in front of your homeboy, right? You having a hell, like, anything could have happened, bro. You lost your grandmother, you lost your dad, you had a bad day, you got cheated on. I don't know, bro. Something,
yeah, something bad,
like,
something
right?
dramatic.
You crying, right? Are they going to look at you different?
I like to think not. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I'll be real with you. I'll be real with you right now. And this is for the viewers,
the people that you have around.
And if y'all are listening, if I don't drop no more advice for the rest of this podcast, it's the only thing that I'm gonna drop for y'all. If your friends look at you differently when you crying in front of them, they ain't your friends. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, that's how I look at it. Like, if you my mans and you my dog, and I'm crying in front of you, and you look at me differently, then we ain't cool no more. Cause that to me, like I said, like that's a level of, you know, and we're gonna get deep for a second. So like, my mom only seen me cry probably 3 times in my life. Been on this earth 25 years. She's probably only seen me cry 3 times. So to me, that's like a level of vulnerability for myself that like, it takes me to a whole different plane.
But quick question, like, did you not cry in front of your mom because like you couldn't, or like give me like a certain circumstance that you were like, I can't do this, cause I can tell you, I've had a very similar experience, bro. You know, I grew up with all females in my life, bro.
Yeah.
And like sometimes when like certain stuff happens, bro, you just can't cry in front of them. Like, you might still do it, but you just like certain things. You just like, you gotta play it cool and makes you look kind of nonchalant and not really like feel that type of way, right? Because you gotta be a strong individual for those people to follow you, right? If you see those people, they're not gonna like. If they cry, they're not gonna want to see you lead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I think for me,
So showing that vulnerability, but continue, like, why do you think that you didn't do that?
well, it really gotta get like, part of me is because of the way I was raised. Like I was raised, bro. A man is a man. Like a man's head of the household. Like you don't cry. Like me and my uncle, like I love him to death. Rest in peace. Like I probably told him I love him as an adult one time. Like it was like, you don't really express your emotions. Like that's not something you really do. I'll say this, like all the 3 times my mom see me cry, someone died. So like there's never been a time outside of death that my mom hasn't seen me cry. And I think a lot of it goes back to, like I said, like having to be strong and feeling like, you know, associating these emotions with weakness, and me at 25, me having to retrain myself and relearn that part of me. So relearning that like crying is not weak, you know, expressing myself when I'm, like I said, having a bad day, that's not weak. That's just something I need to do. And learning like I can't figure it out by myself. I'm really big on like, bro, I'll figure it out. Like I tell people that all the time, like, bro, I don't care, bro. Life could get bad. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out by myself. I think I learned that like I can't do it all myself. And that really, I said, it took a lot for me to get there, but hey, I'm here now. So
Nah, yeah, I definitely feel that. And for the people, like obviously this podcast is for you guys. Like, take it and use it. So tell me about your journey. Like, what have you done that has helped you go through those certain obstacles that you've encountered, right? You could say, give me like 2-3 tips.
I think for me is like, one thing I said this, you know, on my own show. I said, I go to counseling. So I go to therapy. Therapy doesn't work for everybody, but it really works for me. And then, excuse me, while I was in high school and college, I had an outlet. So I had football. After college, I don't have football no more, so I don't have the outlet. I think replacing that outlet with something. So like, I go on walks. Like that's my thing. Like I go on walks. I go on a daily walk. You know, it's just me, myself, and like an audio book. And like I try to walk at least 30 minutes a day just to like be in nature and really just be by myself and like try to figure it out and really try to think about everything. And then at night, another thing I do is I have a whiteboard in my room, so I write down. One thing I'm learning right now is emotional intelligence. So I'm learning how to differentiate. One thing I watch Andrew Huberman. He's a neuroscientist. He really talks about the brain and emotions and everything. So what I do is every day I write down one emotion that I felt strongly that day. And then I find a replacement word for it. So I try to take that and I try to go deeper and understand why I felt that emotion, what was going on during that time, and, you know, if it was negative or positive, how I can replace it or how I can replicate it. So I think all that is like helping me retrain myself and learning my emotions, learning myself, and also like being one with myself. So like I said, like I'm relearning everything right now. It's a lot.
Nah, yeah. I've seen, like, obviously I've known you for a long time. So I've definitely seen you grow and take those steps to, you know, become a better person, become a better man. And honestly, like, it's great. I love to see you be successful. Yeah. Like I'm saying, like, you blossoming, right? In every single emotion. I've seen you happy. I've seen you depressed. I've seen you sad. I've seen you angry. You've seen me angry. You've seen me sad. You've seen me depressed, bro. Like, and those emotions aren't emotions that you should be suppressing. You know, you should be kind of and letting them out, because when you bottle them up, it starts to be a little bit more difficult to express them. And then when you pop, it might be, you slamming the door or something. Next thing you know, you breaking stuff, and
100%.
And like it escalates. Like let's be honest, bro. Like everything escalates, bro. And we don't think it's too much right now. And it might be a little bit too much, but we got to express ourselves some type of way. Because when we bottle those emotions in, everybody has their own different way of dealing it.
Yeah.
And those tips are going to becomes a pathway, a key to success for these people.
Yeah, so
that are listening.
Before I had a lot of negative, I'll say that I had a lot of negative coping mechanisms.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit. So there's always outlets, right?
Yeah.
Tell me, like, I know there's always the struggle with negative outlets and positive outlets. Like, for me, it was always football, right? And I try to, like, chill now. I don't play football no more. I barely work out. The way that I express my emotions is through my music, through my art. I drew this, like, emotional blossom, thinking of different ideas to come up with for people to love, bro, to edit, to see people be like, bro, this shit is fire, bro. Like it just, like, at the same time, like, I love the process. I'm not in love with the outcome, right? If I was in love with the outcome, I wouldn't still be doing it. Cause I mean, success isn't always there, you know?
Yeah,
when you express yourself in whatever which way, success isn't always there. It's not that people don't care. It's just that they don't know. Okay, this world is huge, bro. You'll be surprised how much 1,000 people, like, is. You'll be surprised how much 1 billion people is. It's a huge world, bro. But so tell me, negative, positive coping mechanisms.
Well, my positives, I kind of just listed them. Like I said, like, I'm reinventing those. Walking daily. Obviously, like, I go to the gym 5 times a week. I try to stay in the gym, try to stay motivated. I learn new emotional words, and I'm really big. Like I said, like, I watch Andrew Huberman, so I watch an episode a day of Andrew Huberman, neuroscientist, really good, really good, really smart guy. He talks about emotions and, you know, retraining the brain and everything. A lot of my negative coping mechanisms that I used, that I'm veering away from them now. I would say was, like, drinking. When I was sad and depressed, I would drink. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I would drink, like, bottles, whatever. So I'm trying to veer away from that. Obviously, like, I'll still have a drink casually with my friends and everything, but I don't want to use it as an escape no more. So I think that was one. Vaping. I stopped vaping. I noticed when I was stressed out. So something had happened earlier this week. I got super stressed out, super paranoid, and I had an anxiety attack. I was super anxious about something. And the one thing I wanted was a vape super bad. Like, I wanted to smoke a vape real bad. So I noticed that was another one of my negative coping mechanisms. And then the third thing I would say, when I was alone, not in relationships, obviously, but when I was alone and I was by myself, if I ever felt lonely or, like, abandoned by anybody, I honestly would, like, call girls. I was using girls left and right. And it made me feel like a really bad person. Like, even, like, not even having, you know, obviously not having sex with them, but even just having a conversation with them and playing with their emotions and trailing them along just made me feel like a really bad person, because I knew that wasn't right, but I needed it to make myself feel better on the inside. I needed that to make me feel like I wasn't alone. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really veering away from those 3 things, and I'm veering more into the loving being alone and learning how to be alone and everything.
And honestly, like, build yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I've definitely been through stuff and things like that. Like, so you talk about, like, anxiety attacks. You know what's crazy, bro? I had an anxiety attack, bro. Like, I was 18, right? And it's crazy because, like, I don't even know if this is gonna go on the episode or not, bro. But this is gonna, like, I'm just gonna say it, bro. So the song, I don't make music about people, right? I make music about experiences that I had. I had this experience that really, like, robbed my, like, was just making me feel some type of way, you know? And I was like, I gotta get it out. You know, writing music is crazy. It's crazy what it can do for you, for your mental health, and so on and forth, bro. Like, I know you used to do poetry, like,
Yeah.
you know? So, like, Big T-Mac on the stage on the open mic,
Nah, I was never open mic, boy. That's crazy. But I used to write poetry. I was like, I'm really into poetry. Like, I'm really into artistic things. So I think I could never draw. So like, poetry was kind of my outlet. Always wanted to write like a little poetry book. I'll probably be in the future though, later on down the line when everything's settled.
Make sure you stay tuned for that.
For real, that joint gonna be on Amazon somewhere. But yeah, so like I said, like I'm trying to find obviously the positive coping mechanisms. I feel like after a while, for me personally speaking, like the negative ones I would be in a ditch, and they wasn't really taking me out of it. Like they was just
With the positive ones,
no, the negative ones.
Oh,
they was just keeping me there. They was keeping me there.
Yeah,
it was
they just keep on bringing you down.
It was giving me a sense of
urgency.
Nah, like immediate, just gratification. Like I was happy for that moment.
Yeah.
And I was happy. That little Nick buzz was getting me happy. That little, while I was drunk, I was happy. I was the happiest person in the world, funniest person in the room, talking to everybody. Like I was good. Next day when I wake up and my problem's still there, I'm back in the depression again. So I think dealing with all that, and obviously, like I said, like not everybody you interact with, not everybody that drinks, not everybody that smokes vapes, not everybody that has sex with a million girls. It ain't, hey bro, that's probably their lifetime. Like it's probably what they do. It's to each his own. But for me though, that was a sign of me at my lowest point, was all those negative things. Like, when I was 21, 22, after I had dropped out of college and everything, one of the things I did to cope with that, and deal with the reality of my situation, was I was going to the club every Friday and Saturday. I lived in the club. You feel me? I lived for that, for Friday and Saturday. I worked for that. So I think getting out of that stage of my life and really having to sit down and think about everything, I gotta face it.
I feel like that sometimes, like, you just gotta, like, there's this crazy quote that I've been hearing. I couldn't really find the person, right? But they said this, right? When a storm comes, right? A cow, like they were talking about cows and water buffaloes, right? I don't remember, but correct me, right? But they were talking about cows and water buffaloes and rain. Storm comes, a water buffalo or a cow is just going to sit there and let the rain pass over, right? They're going to try to find shelter, right? And to let the rain pass over and not get wet, right? A water buffalo, right? They going to run to the storm.
Yeah.
And they're going to run through it. And they're going to spend less time in that dark area, in that rainy cloud, than the person that's just waiting for the storm to pass over. So sometimes you just got to face your problems.
Yeah.
Right?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what quote I'm talking about. But,
yeah, so
but I really, like, I take that quote and I'm like, okay, sometimes you just got to face it and just face your emotions and just grow through them like a rose through the concrete. You just got to keep going and keep blossoming, no matter how you're feeling, you keep going. And like for me, when it comes to music, there's one song called Dead Zone. That song I talked about, it literally in the beginning of the song, I say like, baby, I can't breathe. Like when I was thinking about that and I was recording it, because I recorded that with myself, and I was in my room studio, I was like, I gotta think about that emotion that I had. And I feel like portraying those emotions on music, what makes music so emotional and so useful for anybody, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Not even like myself. Like I would like listen to my music. Don't get me wrong, bro. J-Drip, J-I-D-R-I-P on all platforms. You can follow me, listen to my music, support me, whatever you want. Make sure you support the podcast. Make sure you comment, subscribe. Make sure you like and hit. I don't know, bro. What should they do in the comment section, bro?
Bro, spam W drip.
W drip in the chat, bro.
Spam W drip.
W drip in the chat. But listen, I don't really care about that, bro. But music in general as an art helps so many people, right? And I'm not the very this kind of like where it comes in. Like sometimes you gotta talk your stuff. Sometimes you gotta talk. Sometimes you gotta be humble. It comes to different areas, right? I'm not Lil Baby, but I talk and I say what I got to, and I think I'm good, right? But when it comes to everything else, everybody else's music, they'll help you find that coping mechanism, that positive coping mechanism, I listen to music when I feel down. You know, you like to write things down. Yeah. You make sure you have things planned, right? You try to come up with different things, positive things, and not dip into that negative emotions.
100%.
You know, always blossoming, always wanting to be successful, bro. And I feel that. But I love it, man. I love it. So I want to kind of shift off a little bit, right? I feel like we've been talking a little bit too much. Let's pipe up the step, you feel me? Like, we've been talking about emotions, and we got to be balanced, you know? Yeah. You see the flower back there? It's a flower, bro. It's a circle, right? It's a blossom, right? There's all sides. We got to see all sides. We got to be all sides. We got to try to reflect all sides, right? So let's bring the emotions a little bit back up. Mm-hmm. How was your week, bro? Did you have a good week? Did you have a good Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah, we will have a fucking, I don't know if that's gonna raise the spirit, bro.
Bro, let's just talk about it, bro.
My week was up and down. I'm not gonna lie, my week was up and down. So obviously Monday I didn't have no work, so that was a little better. I've been having an up and down week. I'm pretty straight. I mean, it's not the worst. Definitely had worse weeks unless, I think, like I said, like, I'm just trying to keep myself occupied. So I'm revisiting, reworking myself, reworking everything about my life. So I think that's a big W. I had a schedule today. I finished it, conquered it. So I think I'm off to a good start for the week.
I definitely, like, I don't know, bro. I've been kind of falling off, bro, on my schedule, bro. Like, sometimes I do some stuff. I'll be editing and everything goes smooth, but then, like, I just don't be, like.
ChatGPT, man. I'm a ChatGPT demon. I ChatGPT everything,
bro.
So I ChatGPT my schedule, and my schedule for the week is off of ChatGPT. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It gives me enough time to obviously wake up, good time to go to bed. Like, it's based off of when I wake up and when I go to sleep.
When you wake up, when you go to sleep, when you work and everything. Yeah, you can feed it. You can feed it that information too.
You know what I'm saying, build me a 7-day schedule. I'm pretty cool with that. I have time. Obviously, I have time for myself, time to do work, time to work on my podcast, time to work on my football stuff. It's time for everything, man. I like it. I don't know. ChatGPT saved my life. So I mean, ChatGPT everything. I ChatGPT a budget. I ChatGPT everything.
The ChatGPT, the budget is, I mean, honestly, like, if you can't do it yourself and you can't pay to do it, bro, ChatGPT is your best friend.
100%.
As an independent artist, bro, ChatGPT is very, very useful for me. Even though, like, I do a lot of my creative, like, I don't, like, write any of my stuff on ChatGPT, like, in music aspect, you know, but I have, like, creative outlines that I use. Those help me a lot. Like, there's certain ways to use, like, definitely, like, going to college and using ChatGPT to, like,
pass classes.
No, well, like, this is the crazy part, bro. Like, in college, they have the ChatGPT, like, identifiers, and they work, right? But there's certain ways, and some of the professors, they want you to use ChatGPT, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Because not because they want you to cheat, but you have certain information, and they can help you come up with outlines. They can help you come up with, like you're saying, like, calendars, schedules.
Yeah. I think for me,
to be successful in life, and you know, grow and everything.
I definitely abuse ChatGPT. I struggle with, like,
Wait. Hold up. I gotta ask you a serious question.
What?
Does your ChatGPT fuck with you?
My dog.
Bro, what's his name, bro?
I don't know.
Bro, you gotta give him a name. You gotta have a personality with your ChatGPT.
No, I don't got him all that, but he helps me write emails too.
Like, all right, so he does a lot of work for you, bro. What if one day he just, like, turns on you, bro?
That's a road I cross when I get there.
Don't you want to be nice to your man before you, like?
I say thank you. I say thank you every time.
You say thank you?
Yeah.
I did see that.
It costs him like $1 million or something, like $1 billion. It's some bread for you saying thank you and I'm responding. Yeah. Cost him some money. But yeah, I ChatGPT a lot of things. Obviously don't replace hard work with ChatGPT. I'll tell you that right off the bat. But it definitely helped me keep a balance and everything. It definitely gives me some good ideas when I'm stuck, when I'm in an artistic rut, or I'm trying to figure something out and I can't figure it out. I go to ChatGPT and they give me some ideas. I may use them or I may spin off of them. Who knows? But ChatGPT definitely at the thorough. I fuck with it. I'm with it.
That's good though, cause, like, I just feel like sometimes ChatGPT, like one day is just gonna, like, just, it could turn on you. Like, but you gotta be nice to it. What if one day like the iRobots just happen and just like,
I don't even know what I'll do. I don't know. I ain't really think that far. I ain't tripping.
no, you're one day, one break at a time.
I ain't tripping. Yeah, one day at a time. One foot. I'm where my feet are at right now, so I ain't even tripping about that.
So like, talking about next steps, where your feet at? What's your next step? Tell me that before we
My next step, my next move.
we conclude. Let's talk about that. What's your next
Obviously,
step?
like work. I'm trying to stay where I'm at. I really like what I do for work. I really like enjoy helping teenagers. My podcast, man. That's my next goal. Right now I have like 130 subs. I say, as of today, as of this moment, 126. I think I checked earlier. 126. So
That's what's your YouTube?
Beyond the Surface podcast. So you can. So I'm gonna say right now.
We go
Super hard. It's super hard.
right here. We're gonna put it right here to
Yeah, drop the Instagram because it's
right here, and then
yeah. It's super hard to find the podcast because there's a lot of like
mental
things-
health or
there's a lot of things with like surface in it. So
you got
surface level podcast. If you go on Instagram and type that in, you will see my page, and then you click the YouTube link, it'll take you directly to my page. I think, like I said, like that's my next step. I'm trying to get to 200 subs by December. I think that's very achievable. I went from 50 to 126 within the year so far. So I really I went from 100 to 126 within this year so far. So got 26 subs without me even really pushing it, without me even really, working towards it. So trying to get up to 200 subs. I get to that, I'll be cool. Obviously monetizing my podcast, monetizing my brand, monetizing my voice. That's the next big thing for me. I think like right now, and obviously working on myself, man. I think that's where I'm focused on. I think there's people in my life that I need to be there for, and people I need to be better for. So I think in order to do that, I got to be better for myself first. So that's where I'm at. Like that phase of my life, I'm working on myself. So I'm staying consistent, obviously, with the gym. I'm staying consistent with, my mental health check-ins by myself, staying consistent with therapy, making sure that I go through the struggles before I succeed.
Yeah, no. That's like, that's gems. Like, if y'all gotta like really listen, bro, like tune into his podcast, because his podcast, bro, like he be bringing people on like I do, and he has like a meaning to everything, Everybody has their own different flow. Like a lot of people, they ask me why is your name J Drip, bro? Like J-A-I is my, like Jaime is my name, bro. J-A-I, you spell it the same way. And then drip, bro, everybody has their own drip. Everybody has a different swag, bro. My drip is different. Terrence, your drip is different. You do things a different way. You have a different flow to it, right? And I'm building this brand to bring us all together, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because we're all doing the same thing. We're all blossoming to be successful. We all got one thing in mind, right? To be successful, right? And with this brand, I want people to, when they wear this brand, when they hear the brand, be like, yo, that's positive entertainment. Is beneficial, right? Positive entertainment that is beneficial, right? And it helps me, right? Almost like a self-help book, but with our emotions, our feelings, and everything behind it. And I want people to like feel that when they see it, But I don't want to just be like any regular brand around here. I want to be able to push it to everybody, right? And really like have a built name like Louis Vuitton, Gucci. Bro, I want to build a legacy, right? Because at the end of the day, these brands like Nike, Gucci, Adidas, Reebok, all these brands have been here for thousands of years. And they still taking y'all money.
100%.
Like, you know what I'm saying, bro?
They taking my money. They're taking my money.
They could take your money, and that's cool, bro. But like, we also gotta support like the other people coming up and everything, and the people who put in the hard work and look and really put in that work, bro. Look at this job, bro.
That's nice. Yeah, it's fire. Like this. You got something coming out for y'all, man. Yeah, I definitely support obviously all homegrown brands and everything. I want to make sure everybody eat, bro. That's my big thing.
Like that's everything too. Like everybody gotta eat. Like I'm not scared of afraid. I'm not scared to help anybody, bro. If you come, bro, if you have a question about doing anything, make sure you comment below. I will reach out and answer that question if you really got a question, bro. I'm an open book. I love to help. Make sure y'all stay tuned with us, with me. Stay tuned with my man T-Mac on his podcast Beyond the Surface, right? Bro, talk to us. If you have questions, if you're going through anything, make sure we here together, bro. I want to build this community. Terrence, I want you to be part of this community and help the community grow.
100%.
And it's always beneficial. You know, it's always mutual. We help each other grow and be successful, help us blossom, right? And we love that, bro. So what you, any remarks, any
gems, man. I got gems. Hey yo, bro, check in with your folks, man. I'll tell you that. Check in with your folks. Check in with your support system. First person that you if you hear this message, right? First person to come in your head, text them, man. Text them. Ask them, are you okay? And make sure that they really make sure they really tell you the truth. And then check in with yourself too, though. Make sure you are make sure you're there for yourself. I think that's the biggest thing. Make sure you straight. Make sure you
go talk to your friends, bro. Like,
yeah.
And friends don't be dicks. I feel like it goes both ways. Come on, bro. Like check in with your friends, but you know the world, you gotta see it both ways. Some
100%.
people can be cruel. Some people can be very beneficial. Some people might not have a way to. But
everything transactional.
Silence.
Yeah,
it could be good or it could be bad.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. The Blossom Podcast. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Follow us on Instagram, everything. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Let's go, man.